Almada to Palacios. Bit of space here for Lo Celso. Giuliano. Big chance. Oh, awful attempt by Thiago Almada.
Oh, mommy.
They seem as potentially surplus to requirements.
What I would say about his performance with Atletico Madrid this season, one, injuries were a problem, but
yes,
beyond that, I don't think he ever really found what his role was in the team.
Nope, I don't know what position he was best at in that setup.
Correct. And so it's almost as if he's like, well, it's not quite a winger type, but he's not really an underneath guy. So he's not a guy that can have just freedom to do whatever he wants. And if it's not well defined with Simeone, he's not going to go out of his way to define it for you.
First bit was good by Rosales, the second bit not so much. Even tonight for Thiago Almada, he's kind of sometimes drifting, sometimes playing central. Right now he's kind of playing in that advanced 8, kind of 10 role. It's a nasty little clip of Lo Celso's heels by Luis Palma, who's not known for his tackling. Neither is that man, Daniel Maldonado.
Similar to Lisandro Martinez, he's late, the ball is already gone, it's clearly foul and a yellow card. For a guy like Thiago Almada, I'm not trying to drive the point home here or anything, but you would expect him to dominate games like tonight, for example. That he would be able to really stand out above some of these defending players from Honduras. And yeah, he's had a couple of moments, but you never really get the sense of, man, this guy is something else. At least not based on what we have seen today or what we saw with Atletico Madrid.
Here's Rodrigo de Paul trying to be the conductor of the orchestra. Lautaro. Giuliano had made the run through. Just to reset, makes another run. Lautaro. Casa gets there first, and a heavy touch. Throw in for Argentina. It's a good bit of pressure, this. The Albiceleste. It's intricate, but it needs to be an end product.
It's intricate, and it's very central. So there isn't a whole lot of space in that part of the field, and there isn't a whole lot of width to Argentina, which then makes it easier for Honduras to defend.
Finally a bit of width. Almada drifting. Say one thing about Jose Molina, he's got his Honduras team very well drilled. They know the roles. Behind for Lautaro, little back flick. Chance for Giuliano, it's 2. Lovely goal.
If you remember in the first half, Mark, I talked about skipping the pass out wide and finding the pass inside towards Lautaro Martinez. And it is in that movement of Lautaro Martinez and the recognition of the space by Giuliano Simeone coming from the right-hand side, far more natural for him to go from outside to in. The layoff from Lautaro Martinez, the run from Simeone, the initial run of Lautaro Martinez that opens the space centrally, that is well recognized and sorted out and picked out by Giuliano Simeone. Little back heel action, good finish, 2-0. Well built by Argentina and well deserved goal by Giuliano Simeone.
Yeah, super goal, super assist, and a super finish. Enzo's about to come on. A lot of Argentina fans in attendance. Trying to see if that's the only change that team is going to make. If you see Messi, you probably don't see him until later on. Honduras ball. The first 10 minutes of the second half, Argentina were very good. Cristian Romero, Alexis McAllister, they're not exactly weakening their team. Final instructions from Walter Samuel, who's one of Lionel Scaloni's assistants, along with Pablo Aimar and Roberto Ayala. Talented quartet as players. Wouldn't mess with Walter Samuel, though.
I'm sure you could have a pretty competitive coaching match.
Yeah, right.
Before or after practice. A little small-sided game with the coaching staff.
I loved watching Aimar in that Valencia team in the early 2000s.
We're a long way from that with Valencia nowadays.
Oh dear. They're trying to sell this Nuevo Mestalla as the only show in town. We want Messi is the cry from the Argentina supporters in attendance, and probably the Honduras fans as well.
Yeah. Fans at the stadium cannot hear me, but I would suggest that I wouldn't hold my breath.
No, and if you get a glimpse of him on the field, it shall not be for long. If. Wide by Rodrigo de Paul. He's kind of taken up that role that you asked him to.
Here's the thing with Thiago Almada. He's taking more of a central position here, right? And he's a guy that is supposed to give you some width down the left-hand side. If he's tucked all the way in, that means that Medina has to give you the width down the left. The problem is that I don't think Thiago Almada is such a good player in tight spaces that he becomes very useful to you in those underneath spaces consistently so.
Nice back heel by Palacios. A lot of players involved in this move. Medina was taken late by Melendez. Play on, Almada's layoff. And Lo Celso denied by the block. They look like they're going to create something every time they come forward, Argentina, in this second half. Been very lively.
Now that was a whole lot better from Thiago Almada. It was 1 and 2 touches, and more importantly, there was movement. Once he laid the ball up, there was actually a change of pace to get into open space in behind the Honduras back line.
Just dropping short and picking up space right across the face, and the header is somehow stopped. The danger not yet over. And eventually Honduras get it away to Moncada. Figueroa. He's got a man inside. If he could have got it through, that could have been an opportunity. But now with a couple of bodies forward, they might be in position to be taken advantage of. But Argentina still.
He was so concerned about the 3 defenders that were on him that was unable to get his head up and pick out the run, the supporting run coming from behind.
An hour gone, Argentina 2-0 up, looking good. Rodrigo de Paul. Just over the head of Lautaro and back by Melendez. Been noticed anything different from the way Argentina have gone about their business in these 15 minutes of the second half compared to what we saw for the majority of the first half?
Quicker movement of the ball, and a lot more balls actually going forward first and then coming back rather than sideways and back. When you do that, then you push Honduras further back, which then allows the underneath spaces to be operated by guys like Almada when he comes into that space, Lo Celso, who has been really good on the turn. The fact that you have the presence on Rodrigo de Paul from deeper then frees up Lo Celso to go and combine in more advanced positions, and then all the activity that you get down the right-hand side from Simeone.
Six changes, 7 changes, 8 changes, 4 for each side. I'll speak to you again in 20 minutes.
You're talking to yourself.
Neither do I. Been in the house. And we're back underway with 22 players on the field. And here's one of them. Enzo's on for Thiago Almada. So while we were talking about the better second half, here come Honduras. Bodies forward. Not the best option. His teammates are letting him know that.
The fact that we actually use the name of Flaco Lopez. Love that.
Will we stick with Josema, or will we go Jose Manuel, give him his full name, or just Jose, or will we go Flaco?
Well, yeah, apparently it's Flaco Lopez.
It was Josh McGinn playing for Scotland earlier. John was unaware his name had been changed.
Flaco Lopez.
Stick with Jose Manuel Lopez, shall we? The Palmeiras. And they're still going. Subs were 3 minutes ago. Rodrigo de Paul with a diagonal, looking for Giuliano. This is when you might have a chance to capitalise on the opposition, having made 4 changes. Not quite gelling just yet. Everybody trying to figure out where they're playing. Is this Argentina's back two, the 2 centre backs for their opener, Otamendi and Romero?
I imagine so, though if you had asked me that same question following the 2022 World Cup, I would not have thought that Otamendi would be around for this World Cup. And yet, give him credit, as a player, and with all his experience at 38 years old, he's still throwing his body around, he's still effective enough to play at a high level. I do think that isolated in 1v1 situations, you can take advantage of his lack of speed at this point in his career. He can be reckless with his challenges. He was that even when he was younger. Cuti Romero is also a very reckless player and had a reckless season with Spurs. I don't think Lisandro Martinez is an improvement on that either. He too can be reckless, had a reckless challenge in the first half today. My concern would be who is the common influence in that center back position, who is the one organizing, who takes a leadership role, and I suppose it would have to be Nicolas Otamendi. So I took the cynic route, so I'll just go ahead and say, yeah, probably this is your starting back line for Argentina in the center back position anyways.
You still got there quicker than the teams got to where they needed to be, having come out onto the pitch at the start. They walked along the line and then eventually took their positions for the national. Ends. His World Cup squad number is 8.
Although when you start sort of reading signs, you're kind of thinking, okay, well, if Otamendi is your starting center back, why is he on the field right now? Does that then mean that he is completely off in the game against Iceland and he doesn't play a minute as he is fully prepared for Algeria? These are the calculations that players are making.
Yeah, they're trying to work things out.
They're working things out as the decisions are being made by coaches. And I'm trying to put myself in the mind of Otamendi saying, okay, when I fill out here, it must mean that I'm not playing against Iceland, which then in turn means that I'm potentially starting against Algeria.
Rodrigo de Paul. Away by Luis Vega. Didn't get enough on it, Alexis McAllister. Good footwork, just run out of room. Cooling break is brought to you by Celsius. I think the one thing we've definitely learned tonight is that it's not a good idea to play Giuliano on the left.
Now, does that look like a player who's about to come on the field? I don't think so.
I think those minutes might be against Iceland.
Yeah.
Tickets have been sold, seats are sat on. I don't think it was done in any way to try and maximise the crowd. He was honest. Scaloni, he said, look, could get some minutes either against Honduras or against Iceland. And of course, you show up, you bring the kids, you want to see Messi. He may get some game time at the end, but we don't know. It's the opening goal. The penalty spot after a clumsy challenge by Melendez and Caliafico. This is a lovely goal.
Yes, it is. It's up, back and through. Good movement away from the ball from Lautaro Martinez. Unselfish play, intelligent play in recognizing the movement of Giuliano Simeone. Also intelligent play from Simeone in understanding where the space was going to be for him. Good little layup, and then the finish from Giuliano Simeone. 2-0.
Does the World Cup excite you as a football fan? And I'm asking this question as someone whose nation hasn't qualified since '98 and 02, 06, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022. I tried to enjoy it as a football fan because my nation wasn't there. How do you, as a Venezuela former player, countryman, fan, look at this World Cup?
I love the World Cup. Love the World Cup. That's why it bothers me so much that we haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
Because I would want us to have the feeling that these fans from Argentina have, and the fans from Scotland, and those that are preparing for the World Cup have, that anticipation, that sense of belonging in the big time, if you will, being part of the big dance. It's no fun being on the outside looking in, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the World Cup. I certainly do. And some of my best memories of my time with my father and my brother was traveling in the '98 World Cup all over France, in which, by the way, I got to see our colleague Craig Burley playing for Scotland against Brazil. And so in that sense, I love the World Cup. As any fan that enjoys the sport, and I want to get behind collecting the cards. I want to fill up the album. I want to watch the games. I want the drama. I want all of it. I also would want all of it with my country in it.
Yeah, sure.
I certainly would prefer that, but yeah, I love the World Cup.
There's a yellow card for Medina. The game earlier today, Bolivia against Scotland, the second half was a non-entity. The first half was a good watch. The danger is when you make the changes at half-time, but this hasn't been like that. The changes were good. They didn't decrease the quality of the respective sides. The energy level is still there. To both sides for that. Could they put him on the left again?
Let's assume it's because of changes in personnel. They have to know that he is so much better and so much more comfortable on the right-hand side, Simeone. Because even in the run that ended up in his goal, that movement outside to in, that is so natural to him when he's playing on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's able to recognize that from the left-hand side because you don't see the field from the same sort of angle.
Cut inside and score a golazo. Golazos. Rodrigo de Paul. I'm sure Luis Palma just sitting off him is a good idea. Palma right now is just running around. Not as quick as he was in the first half. Corner kick, Alexis McAllister.
Alexis McAllister could use a few productive minutes to lift up his level of play. He was one of the many players at Liverpool this season that underperformed. And much like Rodrigo de Paul, he's going to have to elevate. He's going to have to elevate his level of play in the World Cup.
This corner kick is brought to you by Enterprise. It's the fourth of the game for Argentina. Taken by Rodrigo de Paul, but like the previous ones, Honduras have defended them well. They've given him so much space, and he can hit them. Strangely enough, even though it's his 86th cap, I would have taken the over if someone had offered me 3 international goals for Rodrigo de Paul. He's only scored 2.
Earlier in his career, Rodrigo de Paul was a far more attacking-minded midfielder than what he has become over the last, I'm going to suggest, 4 or 5 years.
That's age. He's 32 now. Axel Witsel, if he played much longer, would have been in goals. Teammate of Rodrigo de Paul, Athletic. What's the furthest back you ever played in a game?
Right around where Rodrigo de Paul is right now. And I knew my time was coming to an end when that happened.
You just see a game very differently, though, from that position. Behind for Lautaro.
It's quite boring back there, let me just tell you. And it's all sideways and back, and let me just find the wide ball to the right back and the left back, and net. That's not for me.
Somebody somewhere has got the Messi 10 jersey, as far as probably the kit man. But as to whether or not it will be given to Lionel, to wear, to come on, remains to be seen. More changes to come, including a change in goal. Beltran. Come on. Doing his first cap as the plate goalkeeper. Honduras making some changes as well. A couple of the other youngsters, Nicolas Capaldo, Tomas Aranda. Aranda also making his debut, the 19-year-old from Boca. Capaldo, who plays for Hamburg, wins his first cap as well.
Eventually.
Yeah, once we work out which numbers. No, 15. No, he's not. He's 3. That says 5. 15's already been brought on. We're not bringing him off. 8 and 3. Okay, that might work because Joseph Rosales had a good first half. He is being replaced. No, not you, the other one. You, yeah, you. Christian Canales is coming on. Meanwhile, the two Argentina outfielders and the goalie are like, okay. Be a minimum of 25 minutes added. I think the referee's just like, look, can we just take this free kick and then we can make the changes afterwards? Delivery from Jose Reyes. This is Luis Palma, who leaves it for a corner. Honduras is first. An extra couple of minutes for Juan Musso. Try and keep a clean sheet. Miranda. Roberto Rivas. And that was almost. Back to the subs. Hello, Ali.
Ah, boy. I'm not doing the math correctly. I don't think I have enough Honduras players in my sheet here.
Who'd have thunk it that the number 10 in blue and white that played tonight was Luis Palma, not Lionel Messi. So far. The referee spotted something there and brings it back, stops Honduras in their tracks. And back to this. Honduras are going to change, and Hivar, the goalkeeper, will be replaced on his placement. Wiki. For Argentina, Beltran replaces Juan Musso. Just all names and numbers now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is out of control.
The number 10 in blue and white goes off. We got a 6 and a 26.
I played against Motagua.
CONCACAF Champions League?
Yep.
How'd you do?
I believe tied 1-1 in Tegucigalpa, and then won in LA, the LA Galaxy, and advanced.
My favourite memory of the CONCACAF Champions League was doing a game late at night with Shaka Hislop, and someone in their wisdom had chosen the second leg, not the first leg, between Alpha United and Herediano. The first leg was 8-0.
Oh.
The second leg was a difficult sell. If they get an early goal, you never know. Flash of legs and a free kick away. Gives us time to get back to the subs. Gabriel Aranda has come on for Ezequiel Palacios. Thomas Aranda, his name is on the team sheet. How many players have you got each side now?
No, I gave up, Mark. I leave it to you.
Well, the hardest worker of the match, presented by Lowe's Home Improvement, is you and I for trying to get these. It's not really. Who is your Lowe's Home Improvement hardest worker of the match?
Oh boy, I'm gonna give it to. Goal and assist for Lautaro Martinez is good, but given that it is the hardest working, I'm gonna go with Giuliano Simeone. Scored a nice goal, and was dangerous, particularly when he was on the right-hand side. I think he gives his team a different element and a sense perhaps of chaos in the attack that creates difficulties defensively for other teams, and I think that was in full display today against Honduras.
I think someone, if he'd stayed on the pitch, who would have been in contention for your hardest worker would be Valentin Barco.
He may have been,
but he went off after,
and so doesn't qualify.
No, he didn't. It's in the rules. It's now becoming the second half that we saw between Bolivia and Scotland earlier, whereby it's just stop-start because of changes and all sorts. But for the first hour, there's plenty of positives for Lionel Scaloni.
Can I tell you a random story about Tegucigalpa?
Please.
When we went and played Motagua, I didn't realize this in Tegucigalpa, but as we're about to land in Tegucigalpa, pilot comes on and says, this is a different approach than the usual.
Okay.
And we are highly trained for this. And
that's never good.
And you're kind of thinking, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? And sure enough, the plane kind of goes on an embankment kind of thing and kind of goes into a valley, and it's a pretty rough landing. It's a short landing at the runway there in Tegucigalpa. And what I thought was more concerning than anything else is that as you are then taxiing in what is a very short runway, you see the leftovers of what obviously was a plane that did not stop on time. I hope by now they've removed it, but there was a plane who clearly had issues landing in Tegucigalpa. So if you're ever going to land in Tegucigalpa, know that it's a different approach than the usual stuff.
Good to know. Joaquin Freitas on for Nicolas Otamendi. Rodrigo. 5 to go, plus added time. First involvement for Freitas. Paldo's kind of playing